What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it's safe to say that undefeated, unified WBC, IBF, welterweight, world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 21 big wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, stands at 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence, he responded to the altercation that took place involving his good friend, two-time junior middleweight world champion, who is currently the unified junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer, Jermell Charlo. 34 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, stands at 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was July of this year when he took on Brian Castano in the Undisputed Showdown. With that said, all three, Jermell Charlo and his identical twin brother, undefeated 2-division world champion, who currently is the WBC reigning middleweight world champion superstar boxer, Jermell Charlo. He too was in attendance as they were viewing the highly anticipated undisputed super middleweight showdown between 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Saul "CANELO" Alvarez, as he took on IBF super middleweight superstar world champion Caleb "Sweet Plant. Okay, so they were in attendance to witness this highly anticipated undisputed showdown. Jermell Charlo, who is undefeated, as I stated, 32 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, stands at 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach. Obviously, he's identical twin brothers with Jermell Charlo. Okay, so with that said, as former unified junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer JARRETT Hurd was in attendance as well. 24 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 16 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'11" with a 78-inch arm reach. With that said, they're all the same age. They all were in attendance to witness the highly anticipated undisputed showdown. We know there's a rich history involving JARRETT Hurd and Jermell Charlo, as they were on a course to have a massive unification showdown that never took place because Hurd suffered an injury after he defeated Errol Spence in the unification bout, and then he ended up losing his belts, as well as Jermell Charlo, he ended up losing his belt. So with that said, he regained it. He lost it to Tony Harrison. He rematched Tony Harrison and regained the titles. And JARRETT Hurd, he never regained the title. He lost it to Julian J. Rod Williams. And then he lost to Luis Arias as of late. So, you know, he needs to get back on track. So that massive showdown has went out the window. We know Jermell Charlo and JARRETT Hurd were in the ring and they were building up the fight, so on and so forth. With that said, they got into an altercation at the fight in which some words were exchanged back and forth. JARRETT Hurd, he felt like Jermell Charlo used some unwarranted words towards his significant other. He ended up slapping Jermell Charlo, and things got out of control. So Errol Spence Jr., he responds to everything taking place, and he says, all of this rah-rah stuff is for the birds, okay? And he highlighted it's for the birds, you know, meaning that, you know, it's all nonsense, right? It needs not to take place. They're all the same age at 31 years of age. They're all millionaires, you know, and so this should not be taking place, especially not at an event that they represent, okay? They represent the sport of boxing. They are the faces of the sport of boxing. Some at a higher level than others, but they are definitely the faces of the sport of boxing. And they have to hold the sport in high regards. And they have to carry themselves in public as such because, again, they are the face of the sport of boxing. They are the face of this brand, okay? And so they have to, you know, hold the sport in high regards for the generation coming behind them, just like the generation in front of them held for them, you know, and paved the way, okay? So Errol Spence, you never see him in these types of altercations. You saw him go back and forth with Terrence Bud Crawford, undefeated 3-division world champion, who is a former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion. widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, who's the biggest rival to Errol Spence. They make up for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing currently. That's the fight that everybody wants to see, okay? And so with that said, they came face-to-face, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. They jawed at one another, back and forth. You know, they even touched one another. You know, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford touched Errol Spence's stomach. Said, you need to get in shape. Errol Spence touched Terrence Crawford's stomach. Terrence Crawford said, yeah, you see it. You know what it is. Yeah, I'm always in shape. And they went back and forth. They jawed back and forth. But there wasn't no, you know, serious risk of altercation breaking out, hands being exchanged, and, you know, getting physical. You know, that there never seemed, as you watched it and witnessed it unfold, you never felt like this was going to get to that point. But you see this situation where there was some strong words exchanged where, like Jarrett Hurd said, it involved his significant other, and it should never go that far, okay? There should be a border. This is a combat sport, hence sport, okay? And they get paid millions upon millions of dollars to do so for their services. And they have to hold themselves and carry themselves in a high regard. So Errol Spence, he's saying this should not take place. You know, Errol Spence, we seen, like I said, he came face to face with Terrence Crawford. You know, that's a huge rivalry there. Okay, everybody wants to see that fight. And again, you didn't get the sense that it was going to get to that point or get to that level. Okay, but with this situation, you even saw Jermell Charlo. He's walking through the tunnel, and a fan asks Jermell Charlo, what's the greatest thing that Canelo Alvarez brings to the table? What's the biggest thing Canelo Alvarez does? And Jermell Charlo, he flips him the bird and then smacks the camera or phone out of the fan's hand. And he's simply asking him a normal question. What is the biggest strength of Canelo Alvarez? What does he bring to the table? If he didn't want to answer the question, he just didn't have to answer the question. But in return, he gives the fan the bird, and then he smacks the phone out of his hand, and then he's staring the fan down as if he wants to get physical with the fan. You're a professional athlete competing at a high level, making millions upon millions of dollars, and it is the fan. It is the fan that awards you the lifestyle that you live. So when you're on social media and you're showing all the jewelry you have, and you're showing the houses you have and the cars that you have, it's the fans that go into their hard-earned pockets, okay, their hard-earned grossing pockets to afford you the lifestyle. The event you was at was a pay-per-view event, okay, and you were on center stage and possibly the next opponent for Canelo Alvarez on this big stage, and this is how you're conducting yourself on the biggest stage. And here Jermell Charlo is telling Jarrett Hurd's significant other, he'll do certain things and you just out of pocket. You are a professional athlete. I understand that emotions run high because the adrenaline and because of, you know, all the testosterone, and because this is a combat sport that, you know, they get physical and they actually fight. But you get paid to do it inside the square circle, not inside the ring, not outside the ring. I agree with one thing. Unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, he said something that made a lot of sense, and there's a lot of not of boxers that need to pay attention to what he said when he was responding to undefeated 3-division world champion who was seen as the cash cow from junior welterweight 140 on down, and that's Gervonta Tank Davis, superstar boxer, pay-per-view fighter, who's stating that he would take it to the outside the sport of boxing with these athletes. And Teofimo Lopez, he said, you can have that. We don't do that over here. We do it in the ring for millions upon millions of dollars. Why would I risk everything, risk not being able to feed my family and the people I love and take care of to prove a point outside the ring? Exactly. You get an opportunity to do it inside the ring. If you're Jermell Charlo and you feel that strong about it, you and Jarrett Hurd are with the same promotional company, same management company, same network. If you feel that strong about it, both of y'all could push for this fight, make the fight happen, and settle it in the ring like men for millions upon millions of dollars. and respect the fans that award you the lifestyle that you live. Period. So Errol Spence said all this rah-rah nonsense is for the birds. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share your videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.